There's a tunnel in Canada where screams echo every night, but nobody's there. Night falls over a small dirt road in Niagara Falls, Ontario. The wind blows cold through the empty fields. In the distance, among the bare and twisted trees, appears the entrance to a dark, abandoned tunnel, covered in faded graffiti and moisture stains that look like dried blood. This is the Screaming Tunnel. And what happens inside defies any rational explanation. Brace yourself, because this story will make you question everything you believe about the boundary between life and death. Imagine coming home after a long day at work. You take your usual route, that quiet road cutting through the fields. But today something's different. You notice a tunnel you've never seen before. Curious, you stop the car, get out, and walk toward that shadowy passage. The air grows heavy. Your footsteps echo against the damp stone walls. And then, out of nowhere, you hear it. A sharp, desperate scream coming from inside the tunnel. But when you look, there's nobody there. Nothing but darkness and deathly silence. Your heart races. You run back to the car, but the scream follows you, echoing inside your head. You've just found the Screaming Tunnel. And now, it's found you too. This tunnel is real. It was built in the early 1800s during Canada's railway expansion. It measures about 65 feet long and was originally designed to drain water from the region's farmland. It seems harmless, just an abandoned structure of limestone and brick. But over a century ago, this place became the stage for a tragedy that forever marked local history. And since then, the tunnel has never been the same. The most well-known legend is terrifying. It's said that a young girl was burned alive inside this tunnel. There are several versions of the story, but they all end the same way, with fire, pain, and death. One version says the girl lived on a nearby farm with her father. One night, after a violent argument, he set the house on fire. Desperate, the girl managed to escape through the flames, but her body was already burning. She ran toward the tunnel, seeking refuge, hope, salvation. But she found none of that. She collapsed inside the tunnel, screaming, thrashing, as the fire consumed her skin, her hair, her life. And there, alone and abandoned, she died. Other versions say she was attacked by a stranger who dragged her into the tunnel and set her body on fire. Some believe she was the victim of an accident with an oil lantern that exploded while she was crossing the tunnel at night. But regardless of the version, the result is always the same: a young girl died burning there, and her spirit never found peace. Since that day, local residents have reported unexplainable phenomena. People passing near the tunnel at night hear female screams echoing off the stone walls. Some say they've seen a figure in flames running inside the tunnel, only to disappear in the blink of an eye. Others report that when they light a match inside the tunnel, an icy gust of wind instantly blows it out, followed by a deafening scream that makes the blood freeze in their veins. Witnesses claim to feel unbearable heat inside the tunnel, even on the coldest winter nights, as if the fire that consumed the young girl is still burning in another dimension. In 1983, a group of college students decided to investigate the tunnel at midnight. Armed with flashlights and a video camera, they entered confidently, laughing at the local legends. But when they reached the center of the tunnel, all the flashlights went out at the same time. The camera captured only static. And then, a terrifying scream exploded around them. The students ran in panic, stumbling over each other, desperate to escape that place. When they finally managed to get out, one of them noticed his hands were covered with minor burns, even though there had been no fire inside the tunnel. He never went back. But the most disturbing thing isn't just the screams. It's what happens when you ignore the warnings. Locals tell of those who challenged the girl's spirit, mocking her story or showing disrespect, suffering terrible consequences. Unexplainable accidents, recurring nightmares, constant sensations of being watched. A woman who visited the tunnel in 2005, laughing at the legend and shouting provocations, reported that for weeks she would wake up every night at 3 in the morning with the sensation of burning alive. She smelled smoke, saw flames rising up the bedroom walls, but nothing was on fire. Doctors found no explanation. Only when she returned to the tunnel, asked for forgiveness, and left flowers at the entrance did the nightmares finally stop. The Screaming Tunnel is located on Warner Road in Niagara Falls, Ontario, just a few miles from the famous falls. During the day, the place looks like just another common abandoned tunnel, graffitied, neglected by time. But when the sun sets, the atmosphere changes completely. The air becomes dense, heavy, as if something is waiting. The trees around it seem to lean toward the tunnel, as if they're guardians of a terrible secret. Birds avoid flying over the location. Animals refuse to pass nearby. And those who dare to enter after nightfall rarely escape unscathed, at least not mentally. Paranormal investigators have visited the tunnel dozens of times over the decades. Audio recorders have captured voices whispering in unknown languages. Thermal cameras have detected sudden temperature changes, with cold spots appearing out of nowhere, followed by waves of intense heat. Electromagnetic field meters have registered abnormal spikes exactly in the center of the tunnel, where, according to legend, the young girl fell and died. Some investigators claim to have seen shadows moving on the walls, humanoid figures that disappear when directly illuminated. Others report an oppressive presence, an energy that seems to drain the vitality of anyone who stays there too long. The tunnel even gained international fame when it was used as a location for the film, The Dead Zone, in 1983, based on Stephen King's novel. The film crew reported strange events during filming. Equipment failed for no apparent reason. Team members felt inexplicably anxious and restless while working inside the tunnel. A production assistant swore he saw a female figure standing at the tunnel's exit, watching silently, before disappearing when he blinked. But why is this place so haunted? Why doesn't the young girl's spirit find rest? Some believe that the extreme pain of her death, the agony of burning alive, became embedded in the tunnel's stone walls. Others suggest she's trapped there, eternally repeating her final moments, unable to move on. Some say she seeks justice, hoping that someone will finally discover the truth about what really happened that fateful night. The most unsettling thing is that the young girl's identity has never been confirmed. There are no official records of her death, no name in local historical archives. It's as if she was erased from history, forgotten by everyone except the tunnel that holds her eternal scream. This raises a terrifying question: how many other tragedies have been forgotten, erased, leaving only echoes of pain behind? If you visit the Screaming Tunnel, you'll find warning signs and chains partially blocking the entrance. Local authorities discourage visits, especially at night, citing safety concerns due to the deteriorated structure. But everyone knows there's another reason. There's something in that tunnel that can't be explained, something that defies logic and science. Something that doesn't want to be forgotten. Local residents do their best to avoid the tunnel after sunset. Parents warn their children never to play near it. Drivers speed up when passing Warner Road, avoiding looking toward the dark entrance. Because they know. They grew up hearing the stories, knowing people who experienced the unexplainable. For them, the Screaming Tunnel isn't just an urban legend. It's a terrifying reality that has inhabited their community for generations. So what really happens inside the Screaming Tunnel? Is it just a combination of strange acoustics and collective superstition? Or is there something genuinely supernatural there, something that transcends our understanding of life and death? The truth is that nobody knows for sure. And maybe that's better. Because some answers come with too high a price to pay. If you're thinking about visiting the Screaming Tunnel, ask yourself, are you prepared to hear the screams? Are you ready to feel the heat of flames that never went out? And more importantly, are you willing to carry the weight of that experience for the rest of your life? Because once you enter that tunnel, a part of it goes with you. And the young girl's spirit never, ever, lets its victims go completely.